TV, it is clear that you served as a commissioner of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the ethnic clashes in the Tana North, Tana River, and Tana Delta districts. And you did tell us how you completed that work under your chair. However, what you didn't tell us is whether the report brought a lasting solution to the conflict that you are addressing. Maybe you can take an opportunity to tell us whether that conflict continues. The reason why I ask this is because the body that you ask to chair is one that needs to resolve perennial challenges, as you clearly stated in your opening remarks, and you are seeking to sit at its apex. Therefore, the country and the panel is looking at when you are given an opportunity to give a lasting solution. Did that solution come, or there are still clashes? And if you are given this job, what assurance do you give that sitting at the helm, not just as a commissioner like in the other one, you'll bring that sanity in our electoral process?
Thank you, Daktari, for that. I want to start by saying that we delivered our report to His Excellency the President. The President who had appointed us at the time we were delivering our report had already left office, and so we delivered to the new President, which was His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta. By the time we were delivering the report, we looked at, there were 3 tiers of issues that we looked at from the Tana Commission. I think I can sum up as 3, but there may have been more. The first one was with respect to the ethnic clashes, the threshold of genocide, or whether they met these variant thresholds of because there was displacement, there was murder, there was clear organization, there was all those things that fitted this billing. Then the next stage that we looked at were the perpetrators known. Fortunately, we had witnesses who testified before us, and from there we were able now to involve the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to act on them, and charges were preferred. In fact, from our report, we had a separate report on those to be charged from the recommendations of the Commission. And those who were charged, the cases were ongoing in both Garsen and Malindi High Courts. And in some instances, I think for those that occasioned gender-based violence, those who were charged before the Garsen Court, that was the first recommendation that we made. And I think in the other recommendation was about economic activity, because what were the triggers of this violence? The triggers, we noted the triggers were related to resource conflict. They were also triggered by just inter-ethnic clash. There were communities that had never remarried. They had never intermarried in that area since time immemorial, and in fact they used to live separate. We would find this is the village of this particular community. I don't want to name them, and this other community. Whether our report succeeded is you can see one of the efforts that we tried to look at was the land structure and tenure in Tana. And one of the those issues were resolved, I think, by placing some of the land into agricultural for purposes of ensuring feeding of the country. One of the achievements we can say from our report was when we said they could Tana River can actually feed this nation, and if it is possible for the land tenure system to be looked at fully, then it can work. As to whether it was implemented, the implementing authority was the executive. So I'm not sure, because I didn't follow up. I went back to my court work immediately after that, but I should think that from my observation, there are some changes. Yet I can see there are returns of there's return of some of this chaos, and from this that is why that's what actually pushed me to go and study international conflict management as a master's program, and actually to just be able to and that's what has taken a bit of time, because I'm also looking at myself as an informant in my own research paper. So I'm gathering that information for purposes of ensuring that this is protected and preserved, and for future purposes of enabling the commission, institutions such as the Commission to see that there is an interrelationship between resources and election and electioneering malpractices.
Thank you. You told us that you have been in service 23 years and counting. If we were to make you chair, what would you like to be remembered for in the judicial service on your professional conduct? How would you, if you were to succeed and now you go to the Commission?
I think my colleagues on the bench I would like them to respect. They would respect me. I would like to be remembered as a person who was respected by my colleagues and my peers, and I think that is sufficient for me, because that was a service, and I think I needed to be respected. I think I am respected by majority of my colleagues on the bench, and I have cut out a career that has spanned all these years with service and honor.
Thank you, Chair.
Have you ever sought to be promoted to the higher court?
Yes.
And what experience have you had there?
I applied to be promoted to be judge. I went through an interview. There was no complaint on my part. I went through a process of interview, but the selection was for the Judicial Service Commission to make. I was not one of those selected at the time. And I think that's all I can say. I was not selected at the time. I have applied once.
Thank you. FCPA, Tanui, kindly.
Thank you, Chair. Still on areas of leadership and integrity. Lorot, you've confirmed to us that you are a serving Chief Magistrate.
Yes.
Thank you. Under Article 260, judges and magistrates are listed as state officers. In our advert that we did put, for which you did your application, we indicated that arising from Article 88.2, people who hold state office are not eligible for appointment. Being a judicial officer, what is your take? Thank you.
I noted that on the advert, and I also noted that there are instances where, because I'm serving state officer, I'm coming for an interview, I will resign from my position if the panel were to appoint me, and I think that is the position I took. I took precedence in what has happened before when I think the first instance of such a case was the late Nkaiseri being a member of Parliament and as a state officer was appointed as a cabinet secretary. It has happened before. Even now we have two. We have the former MP for Ugunja and the former MP for Gwasi, who are both state officers when they were members of Parliament, and they were selected to join the cabinet secretaries, to be cabinet secretaries, which are also state officers. So there is precedent that that I'm not just coming here because I'm a state officer. I'm coming here because I'm coming for a job interview for a state office. My take also on that is that it wishes to remove persons who are not. Let me just finish with what I just said earlier. Yes, I think there is precedent for me. What happened in the past.